My sister was 12 years old, and she became real sick and had to go to the hospital in Decatur and passed away at age 12. My mother then couldn't pay the bill. She had lost all of her money in the bank in Hartselle, and she couldn't pay the bill. The board of stewards, they called them then, in the church said, we'll take care of that bill, and they did. For that reason, I love First Methodist Church. It really touched me at age 14.
When I first started here, the church was primarily a Sunday church and a Wednesday church. You didn't see a lot of activity throughout the week.
In the mid-90s, of course, we had several thrusts to see where the church was going, where God was calling the church, and one of those was the Vision 2000 committee, which one of the outcomes of that was that we needed more common use space.
I know one area that the Ministry Center was really beneficial is in providing space for the youth for Discovery.
Discovery is our major event during the year. We try to invite everybody from the community. We have skits, we have dances, high school kids do talks. We play games with them, we do involvement activities to where we can get to know them.
When I was in junior high, that's one thing I remember, seeing all the high schoolers and saying, wow, that's how I want to be.
We start with junior high here, and then by the time they get through senior high, they really are equipped to help the needy.
I mean, it's the Christian thing to do. If your brothers and sisters are in need and need help, then that feels like partly it's our duty to go help them and just help them get through their tough times that they're facing.
And I was talking to one of my students Sunday night, and his mom had told him he had to choose between a beach retreat we're planning and a mission trip this summer. And he said, well, I'm choosing the mission trip. They want to serve, they want to be involved. It makes them realize that they're part of a bigger plan. It makes the gospel come alive to them.
Senior adults also helped in the tornado destruction, got trees out of yards and a lot of chainsaw work.
Someone from this church has been doing music at the nursing home, the same place, every Wednesday for 40-something years.
You know, we're touching a lot of different lives at a lot of different levels and a lot of different needs.
Our ministry to the community through Good Sam, Faith House, and Hope House is so important.
If we can have one person that walks into Hope House that never has to walk in Hope House again because they can find the hope of Christ and they can change, their life can change and God can bless them, it's all worth it.
We got a new building and we got a new type of worship service, and that's really sparked a lot of interest in the younger kids, and we have a much higher attendance in teams than we used to.
At some level, having a gym that's less threatening, less intimidating, you know, it's very much a come-as-you-are worship service. It's not a suit and tie required.
That Ministry Center has grown more than any area of our church.
If we hadn't taken that step, we hadn't grown in that direction, we just wouldn't have those families in the church.
We do kids' churches now, a program that we've added since I've been here also, that the children come down on Sunday mornings instead of staying in worship. The children love it. It gives them a time to interact, and they don't have to sit quietly, but they have a time that they can interact and answer questions and ask questions. We have a lot of fun, but we learn a lot also.
Being a member of this church my entire life, I just can see the importance of going forward, paying down projects, starting new projects so that the children we have here today will reap the benefits as they get older of things that we're trying to see for the future here. The playground we have now is in the back and it's not very accessible, and I think if we had something that kind of had a wow factor, so if kids were, you know, in the car with their parents and driving down the street and saw that playground, they could say, oh, that's someplace I want to go, or someplace I would like to play.
And that's the life of any church, is having younger people to grow up in the church, become a member of the church, and stay in the church.
And I think that we as older people need to set that example for these young children, because they're going to be the ones that's going to run this church. And you know, when I was young, I never did think I'd get there, but I'm there now. And it makes me feel good to see the ministries that we're doing for the young people.
I think that paying down this indebtedness is extremely important so that we can make the next steps. Continuing to be in mission, continuing to minister to children and youth, all of those things that are what make a church great.
It's a wonderful part of what it means to be a Christian, is to be generous and to give.
I think this is just about continuing the tradition that we've been handed down, is that grow this church, be an asset for our community, and do it all for Jesus.
And sometimes we just have to step out in faith. As much as this church has been part of my life, you know, I don't hesitate to support what we're trying to do.